Okay, we're up now. I talked about most of these other picks before. So the aggressive red deck took Wear and Tear, Rootbound Crack, which seemed pretty reasonable, I guess. Wear and Tear is a pretty good sideboard card, and more mana fixing, and red green makes sense after the other red green deck took two red green lands. And then the Flooded Grove also makes sense. And Asceticism is interesting, so clearly the Asceticism plus Privileged Position plan against removal heavy decks, probably these two, um, might be interesting. And also the ability to regenerate through a Supreme Verdict or something similar is interesting as well. So you can kind of see people gearing up for each other a bit. I've been thinking about, just more big picture stuff before I make my obvious picks that I said I was going to make. Just like as we're thinking about now, who has the best deck? And maybe we're thinking about who we sideboarding for. And I think pretty clearly that the mono black deck is the best deck. I just think its card quality is very high for a deck that will never get mana screwed. And I would guess that this deck's probably the worst one, this Esper deck, just because it seems kind of confused. It doesn't really know what its identity is. So I would guess those are probably the extremes. I don't think the mono red deck is bad, but I'm not convinced it's going to be good in this format. I don't think it's going to be consistent enough to kill people really fast. So I would probably put that in the bottom tier. So maybe first, seventh, eighth. And then everyone else I think is pretty close. I think this deck seems a little underpowered, aside from Jace seems really good. He's got some good removal, and I'm just not sure if it's going to... The power level of this deck actually seems lower than the power level of this deck, which is interesting to me. There's a lot of kind of goofy cards that could be good if they come together in the right combination. So I guess we'll find out. So I'd say this one's 6, this one 5. I think these are pretty close. This deck's fine, but it's kind of linear. These 3 decks, I might be overrating mine too. I hope I'm near the top, but this deck seems just like the better green-white deck to me. It just has more. It seems like it has more play to it, more tricks. The whole combo potential is interesting. I think I would say this deck's number. I think I'd say the mono black deck, then this one. Me and the ramp deck, I think, are 3 and 4. We're doing similar things. I'm actually not sure whose is better. We'll say tie for third here right now, and then I'd probably pick the other green-white deck, and then the blue-black, and then the mono-red, and then the Esper. But again, that's just me speculating. I'm just curious to see how it'll actually play out. If I had to guess which 4 decks will make the top 4 right now, I would pick these 3 in the mono-black deck. But that's obviously very speculative. There's still a lot of cards that haven't been picked. We don't know how the games are going to play out. That's my general take on the draft. I think the mono-black strategy is very good. I think the mono-red, it's not mono-red, it's like Naya, but it's basically red, splashing green, and white. I think this strategy is going to prove to not be that good in this format. I could be totally wrong. And then I think this deck may be inconsistent, doing too many things. That's why I'm kind of down on that one. But I think the big ramp strategies, and then this is I think a good example of what a mid-range deck probably should do in this format. But we'll see. Everyone's playing good cards. It could be totally wrong. This felt like it was time to kind of assess things on a larger scale. Let's see if I end up being anywhere close to right. I think I talked about this last time. My next 6 picks are going to be Rakdos Charm, Kolaghan's Command, these lands, I'm pretty sure. So I think I want Rakdos Charm a little more, but it's pretty close. But I think I'll just take these 2. Next, I'll take the Command and the Lava Claw Reaches, and the pick after that, I think I'll take these 2 lands, although I'll get to see a lot more picks before that. So we'll see. I think I still want an Anger. Maybe a Hasty Flyer, a couple good sideboard cards. I think is Deathmark still around? I don't Whoops. I don't even remember if Death Market was taken or not. Nope. Okay, so that's still an option. There's a lot of good cards out there. This is a very wide format. For now, we'll take the Charm. Whoops. You can't spell Rakdos without dark. That's kind of interesting. Or so dark, even. I wonder if they were thinking that when they made it. Sodark. Yep. Probably. See, the things you notice from a typo. Alright, so... yeah, those are my picks. And pretty much can say Kolaghan's Command and Lava Claw Reaches almost certainly on the next one. We'll see what the other players do, and we'll be back with my next pick. I'm up again. We've had some ramp spells, and I'll explore, and then this is a red-green snowland. I had to look it up. And then Mistcutter Hydra, a good sideboard card. So is Cloud Thresher. I might have to be wary of that. I have a lot of flyers. It doesn't actually kill very many of my creatures. I think the only one it kills is Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. But I certainly don't want to just accidentally jam my dragon into it or something. Over here we've got Anticipate, Timely Reinforcements, Condescend, Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, those are all reasonable cards. I don't have any real, I don't know, deep analysis of what those mean, but cards like Timely Reinforcements do seem like a reason why I'm skeptical that the mono red deck is going to work. But I've said so many bad things about the mono red deck. Watch would just go and beat everybody. I might just be a hater or something, or I may be biased because of my previous my experience when I play mono red aggro decks has not been very good, and I tend to play mid-range green decks that usually are good against them. So I'm probably underestimating this, but there are a lot of very good sideboard cards out there, especially in white in particular. Yes, that's it. Whoops. We zoomed pretty far out there. Sorry. That looks right. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, and just take these two cards. So, no real surprises. My next pick will probably be the last two lands, and then I will assess what's left as I go into my last four picks and see. Maybe we want another threat. Maybe we want some artifact removal. We probably want a sweeper. I still don't know if we want this Flame Javelin or another burn spell. Maybe some land destruction. There's a lot of things. The kids will take this Apostle's Blessing. Draw spell. There's a lot of stuff out there, so we'll take a look in a couple rounds. But for now, I feel like this pick's pretty easy. And we'll be back in a little while with the third to last set of picks. We're almost there. You've probably been watching for a long time now. I guess the time on these videos probably adds up. It's been about a month and a half for me, so looking forward to finishing up and playing some Magic. Alright, we're back pretty quickly actually, and had some interesting picks from the rest of the group. Here we're starting with some more. This deck's really anti-control of a bad deck, and I wouldn't really want to be playing counter spells or something against this. Grand Abolisher, Vexing Shusher, and Collected Company. Idyllic Tutor is interesting. So this is 2 and a white, search for an enchantment, reveal it, put it in your hand, sorcery from Morningtide. I don't think I've seen it cast in a while. I think this fetches up Greater Good and Vanishing Light or something. It's not actually a ton of targets, so probably means he's going to be planning to lead fairly heavily on the combo in some matchups. Um, Over here we've got a couple token makers. Hordling Outburst, which is actually something I probably should have at least thought about. I don't think it's something I want in my deck, but maybe it's good, like, because it makes through chump blockers, but can't take it now. In Dragon Fodder, and then Land Destruction, which makes sense. Fulminator, Mage, Molten Rain. He can actually afford to spend a card to kill a land, whereas it's something I'm a bit more leery about doing. Like, I don't mind the Ruin Blaster because it creates a hasty attacker while getting this effect, but I don't think I just want to kill their land and get nothing else. Anafenza Kintree Spirit is interesting. He doesn't have a combo with it, so I guess it's just for value. And then Reborn Defenses make sense against sweepers, and Germova's Command Selesnya Charm. Two very strong removal spells that I'm surprised we're still around this late, given that there's two green-white players. Over here we finally got the Tezzeret's, which I think I had talked about for a while and then kind of forgotten about, and I was just like, this deck seems kind of bad, whatever. But these cards make a whole lot of sense in here. Definitely increase the power level of the deck quite a bit. And then Infest Negate. So this is really definitely settling into a blue-black control deck, and it's probably among my worst matchups, like I've been saying for a while. And then this deck just kind of keeps getting more bonkers. Leyline of the Void is actually, like, not the best graveyard hate, probably. But he can cast it, and Nihil Spellbomb went earlier to the artifact deck. Nantuko Shade seems good. Beseech the Queen's really good for 3 mana, Mind Shatter, all these things. I'm still very scared of this deck. It seems very strong. So it's back to me, and I'm actually pretty unsure about what I should be taking. And, like, I don't want these lands. I'm actually not certain that I want either of these. There's only really one person that gains a considerable amount of life. I'm not sure what I'm boarding this in against exactly. I do think I want Anger. Or Fallout, or one of these sweepers. Anger's probably fine. I guess we get Inkmoth Nexus with Fallout. There's some 3 toughness guys, Hellrider, Vampire Nighthawk. It's not a ton. See, I don't know what it's really good against aside from the mono red deck. It's kind of what's getting me. Yeah, I almost wonder if I just want to take like a Wildfire or something like that. Like, I know I want another sweeper, but I'm not sure what it should be. Revelark gets hit by Anger, but it doesn't matter. Warden of the First Tree. It's usually a 3/3. Nautilus Escort, Great Sable Stag. Yeah, I feel like I'm not getting a ton out of the instant speed on Fallout. And dealing myself 2 damage may actually not even be good. I don't have a ton of instants though. I don't know, I guess if my plan is to like Zealous Conscripts and Harness by Force them and stuff, I don't need to. I don't have a lot of 6 toughness creatures either, so I'm probably not in the market for one of these effects. I also wonder I think Bituminous Blast may actually be better than Fallout. Than Flame Javelin. So I'll probably decide that on my next pick. But yeah, so I think for now I'm going to take Anger, and I'll take Temple of Malice. And I'm pretty sure I need this 8th black source, but I'll think about it before my next pick. And then yes, maybe we grab like Bituminous Blast, and then maybe one of these draw spells and Vandal Blast or something. Or maybe Outpost Siege is good. We'll see. Okay, but yeah, I know I want the Sweeper and I want the Temple, so I'll grab those for now. I'm actually pretty unsure about what my last 2 cards are going to be. There's a lot to pick from. And I do think I'm going to need this land. Maybe I should just take the land now. If I know I'm going to take the land, I should probably just take the land and then think about what the rest of my picks are. Yeah, so when you play limited, yeah, I definitely need 8 black sources. There's enough black cards. I may even want 9, which would involve playing a swamp, which would be pretty bad in my deck. Okay, yeah, I definitely need this land, so that's fine. Is a land better than the talisman? I think so. I don't think I want to play 4 mana rocks. It makes me pretty vulnerable to artifact hate. Yeah, okay. I'll take both the lands. And then my last 4 picks, I can take a sweeper, probably like a blast, an outpost siege, and maybe some kind of sideboard card. It seems like I'm so down on a lot of these sideboard cards just because they're only good. Either they're not that high impact, like Deathmark is good, but it gives me one good trade, but it doesn't swing a matchup. And then Vandal Blast is very good against one person, although it is very good against probably my worst matchup. So that's, I guess, worth being aware of. So I'll have to think about that more. But yeah, for now, let's just take these 2 lands because I know I need them, and I'll probably be in the tank more my last 4 picks. So make sure I write Temple of Malice and not Temple of Malady. Those are not the same card. I'm up again. We just took a couple lands. Our neighbors here, combination of interesting cards. Deathmark and Comet Storm both gone. Comet Storm seemed like something maybe I should have prioritized sooner. It is a really good card. But I just have too many expensive drops, so I kind of ruled out taking any more X spells. Deathmark also gone. Probably better in the Snapcaster deck than in mine anyway. He said I don't think I'm gaining enough by playing a Deathmark over at Dreadbore or Terminate or something. I have so much 2 mana removal. Evoked Shriekmaw as it is that I don't think this was worth a pick. Sphinx Revelation, pretty good card to go. 38th round. Sagu Mauler is kind of interesting. First blue card taken since Kega the Tidestar for this deck, so really light blue splash in the ramp deck. And so we come to me. I've been thinking since my last pick, and I think I've pretty much figured it out. Or at least I've got 3 of the 4. So let's see, Deathmark is gone, which is fine. I believe that I want Vandal Blast and Bituminous Blast, which I didn't think about at the time. So it comes back to the sweeper, so we still talk about the sweeper. I think I actually want Chain Reaction, not Anger the Gods. So Anger is almost exclusively just better against the mono red deck. And I feel like I've made a lot of choices that are cards that are not good against the mono red deck, but better in general, and maybe I'll get punished when I play against it. But he's probably going to board into Twin anyway against me. And I don't know, I think I have enough cards that are good. I play my 1-drops, I play all this removal. Rakdos Charm gets boarded in. So you say I have removal, Figure Destiny, play on my ramp, and then hopefully just these big dudes are good, and Wormcoil's good, and Batterskull's good, and Shriekmon. Hopefully I just have enough cards to get by that matchup as it is. The Chain Reaction is going to be good. It combos with the Boros Reckoner, sort of like Blasphemous Act, but in a smaller way. And it just gets all these big creatures. There's just a lot of big creatures. And there's not a lot of 2 and 3 toughness creatures, really. I don't think people are going to be curving out that much. And Anger just doesn't hit everything. Neither is good against a ramp deck, because it's very threat light. But I guess Anger's good against Monastery Mentor. It's good against Vampire Nighthawk. It's just not good against that many things. I'd much rather, and my opponent's going to play, a Sun Titan and a Mycoid Shepherd and a Baneslayer Angel. I'm going to actually, if I'm going to sweep them, I need something that deals more than 3 damage. So hopefully I'm on the right track with that. But these are 3 I know that I want. I like Bituminous Blast over Flame Javelin because I just realized like the Cascade is just in the right matchups at least. It's going to be very good. I don't think I'm going to start this, but if I'm going to board into a removal heavy control deck post sideboard, this card is great. Like it's going to remove something and probably remove something else, or make a giant guy. So like both of those things seem quite good. So even though it's been kind of quietly on my list the whole time, my opinion's gone up. And finally, for the last spot, I think I don't want Chandra or Outpost Siege. That was the other thing I was thinking about last time. I don't. So these cards, these extra cards you can only play when you first flip them over, are best in decks where you play. This is further up on your curve, where you're flipping over a lot of 1, 2, 3 mana spells or lands, and you can flip. In Modern Jund or something, you can flip your Abrupt Decay, cast it, and do something else. Like I'm going to be flipping 5 drops a lot, and like a lot of my deck is 4 and 5, and even higher. And I think there's just going to be a lot of times where these cards miss. So I'm actually leaning towards taking one of these 2 drops. I think I'm going to wait until my last pick. I'm sure one of them will still be here. As with Chain Reaction, like if somehow this got taken, like Anger and Rough Tumble and Slack Storm are all still around, like I'm going to have my pick of a Sweeper and my pick of a 2-drop. I actually kind of like Dragon Whisperer now that I'm thinking about it more. It's kind of mana intensive, but just the inevitability is good, and the ability, if I'm going to pump mana into something, giving it flying is what I want to be doing, because I have so many flying creatures. Again, if more people take as their last super hate cards all these, I'm going to get lots of life spells. Maybe we'll switch to Sigma Lasher, but I don't think I'm getting Sigma Lasher through that easily, especially if I'm on the draw, and it's just not a good draw late in the game, whereas Dragon Whisper can actually do something late in the game, and this deck, one of its strengths is its high threat density, so this seems like a good card in here. But I'm going to not take it yet, and then I'm going to wait on the Sweeper and the 2-drop. So for now, we're going to double blast here. So Vandal Blast, whoops. And I'm not main decking that anyway. I could probably put it somewhere else. And then Bituminous Blast. Double Blast. That's a plan for now. We'll see what everyone else does. I think many of the players are thinking about doing kind of a fun last pick or something that represents you or something. So Chain Reaction could be that for me since I'm a chemical engineer. But we'll see how that plays out. And we'll be back with my last pick soon. We have arrived, finally, at the very last pick. Picks, last round. And this will go over what everyone else took, and then we'll make the last picks. And we're here in the Bant mid-range deck. We've got a pretty good set of cards, I think. Some versatile 3-drops. Reclamation Sage, Bant Charm, good removal spells. Heartwood Storyteller. It's another strong anti-control card. I think this is going to be kind of a nightmare to play against if you're just playing a bunch of removal and dirtling around and stuff. There's a lot of annoying cards. And then Wargate's kind of slow, but it seems like a way to maybe enable some of the combo-y stuff that happened up here. Over here we've got a Seismic Assault is an interesting pick. I'm not sure how many lands this deck is going to have. I don't think there's I don't think there's going to be a ton of cards in hand. So I'm not sure about that one, but all these other Goblin cards seem pretty good in this deck, especially with all the token-oriented picks. Goblin Grenade, 1 mana, 5 damage, still good. CGI Commander, very strong finisher, and then Goblin Assault is a good card against control decks. Make a constant stream of 1/1s. Over here, like limited 4th pick will leave Cavaliers. This is a fine creature, I guess, but I'm not sure if what matchup it's good in exactly. We used to play this card when I first started playing Magic, because it was a 3-power, 3-beta vigilance creature, and you could slap Armored Ascension on to turn 4 and attack for 7. Back when people didn't play removal, when we were first learning Magic. Loxodon Hierarch is a strong card. I'm surprised it took this long to get drafted. I'm also surprised that Fleecemane Lion never got drafted between 2 green-white players, as that card's quite good. And then Autumn's Veil and Skin Shifter are kind of pet cards for this guy who did real well in a big tournament with him a few years ago. And here we've got Mistvein, Border Post, and Fabricate. So we're just searching for artifacts, I guess. And then not quite Baleful Strix, Tide Hollow Strix, Darksteel Citadel. No Insult artifact to go with this nonsense, but it might just not be the kind of game they're playing. And then just more busted bottom black cards. Mutilate seems very good. This is a 2/2 shadow creature. Basically 2 mana make them discard 2, so seems like there's some good stuff going on in this deck also. So we come back to me. I pretty much know what I want, and decided that we're good on high drops. We got a lot of 5s. So my picks are going to be Dragon Whisper, Chain Reaction, and whoops. So Chain Reaction is my flavor pick. Anger might be better, but I'm a chemical engineer, so some of us were trying to do fun last picks, so that's mine. This is more of a combo with Boros Reckoner, and like I've been saying for a while as I keep thinking about drafting it, Anger doesn't really hit that many things, but there's a lot of big creatures. I feel like when I shift to the control role, I'm going to be more worried about a really long game with a bunch of big creatures, where I'm going to want to be able to deal a very large amount of damage to all the creatures and clear the board up. So we're going to try that. Dragon Whisper, I just feel like I do need a 2-drop creature, and this is a good one to draw late in the game, and you could give it flying. And I decided that's better than the other options. So that's pretty much it. This has been fun. I'll make another video with the last couple picks and from the last 2 players and deck building, and then I think I'm going to record the matches hopefully. So yeah, still a long way from done, but finally it took almost 2 months, but we made it through the draft portion, and it has been a longer process than I thought, but it has been a lot of fun, and hopefully the games will be exciting and we'll learn more about the format.